Amanda, Namanda, 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 Namanda. Good morning. Ohayou gozaimasu. Welcome to our Gotan-e Service for 2022. Nice to have a number of people here at the service live, and also many people joining us at home in the comfort of your home. So it's always a very special service to have our Gotan-e Service. So I'd like to go over the service order for you today. We're going to have the reading of the three treasures, and then the Raisanmon, the three treasures in Japanese. And I'll take my seat upon the altar. We're going to chant Sambujo from my seat. I'll read the Hyobyakumon for Gotan-e Service, and then we'll chant the Shoshinge. Since this is a special Shinran Shonin service, we'll chant the Shoshinge. So please prepare here and at home to be able to chant the Shoshinge. Concluding this, Nembutsu and Ikoku will complete the chanting portion of the service, and then I'll come back for our Dharma message. Okay. So let's begin with the three treasures. In the Purple Book, page 8, Three Treasures. Hard is it to be born into human life, now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Blessed One, now we hear it. If we do not realize the truth in this life, when will it be realized? Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures. Absorb our refuge in the Dharma, may we be submerged in the depths of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha, may we live in harmony in the great assembly as disciples of Buddha and be freed from all hindrances, becoming units of true accord in the life of harmony, in a spirit of universal oneness, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through myriad ages of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teachings. Raisanmon, page 6. Ninjin ukegatashi imasudeni uku. Buppo kikigatashi imasudeni kiku. Konomi konjo ni mukatte dosezun wa, sarani izure no shou ni mukatte kakonomi o dosen. Daishu morotomo ni shishin ni sambo ni kieshi tatematsuru beshi. Mizukara butsu ni kieshi tatematsuru. Masani negawakuba shujo to tomo ni. Daido o taige shite mujoi o okosan. Mizukara ho ni kieshi tatematsuru. Masani negawakuba shujo to tomo ni. Fukaku kyozo ni irite chie umi no gotoku naran. Mizukara so ni kieshi tatematsuru. Masani negawakuba shujo to tomo ni. Daishu o tori shite issai muge naran. Mujo jinjin mimyo no ho wa, 100,000万号にも愛をことかたし、我今検問し従事することを得たり、願わくば如来の真実義を消し立て祭らん。Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. 三部上昇進言。ナマンダー、ナマンダー、ナマンダー、ナマンダー。We are gathered together here at the Buddhist temple of Alameda to celebrate the birthday of our founder, Shinran Shonin. At the age of 9, he entered the priesthood at Mount Hiei and studied there until the age of 29. Upon leaving Mount Hiei in search of his awakening, he encountered the Nembutsu teachings of Honen Shonin. Thereafter, Shinran shared the Nembutsu teachings of the primal vow of Amida Buddha to all people. It is due to the birth of the Shonin that we are able to receive the teachings that enable us to transcend the realm of birth and death. As fellow friends and followers in the Buddha Dharma, we vow to walk the great path of indebtedness and gratitude. 如来。Namo fuka shigiko ozo bosatsu iniji zai seiji zai obusho token sho butsu jodo in kokudo ninden shizen mak kondyu bujo shushogan Shōhotsuke udai guzei Goko shiyui shishōju Jusei myōshō mon jippo Fuhō muryō muhenko Muge mutai koe no Shōjō kangi chieko Fudan nanji mushoko Shōnichi gakko shōjinsetsu Issai gunjō mukosho Ongan myogo shōjogo Shishin shingyo ganin Choto gakusho dainehan Ishi metsudo ganjoju Yorai shoi koshuse Yui sesumira ongankai Kochoku akuji gonjokai Oshin yorai yo chitsugon No hotsu ichinen ki Nonjo gyaku hosai enyu Yoshu shinyu kai ichimi Sesshu shinko joshogo Ino suiha mumyoan Tonnai shinzo shiyunmu Jofu shinjitsu shinjiten Inyo nikko funmu Unmu shige ryomuan Gyaku shinken kyodai kyoki Soku wo chozetsu go akushu Issai zen maku bongo nin Monchi nyorai guzegan Butsu gon kodai shogesha Zenin myo Butsu ongan nembuts Chaken kyoman nakushujo Shingyo juji jinninan Nanchu shinan mukashi Indo saite shironge Chukaji chiriki shikoso Kendai shoko seshoi Nyonyorai onze oki Shaka nyorai ryosen Ishugo myonan tenjik Ryuju daiji shutto se Jitsu no zaiha umugen Senzetsu daijo mujoho Chokan giji shoanrak Kenji nangyo roku Shingyo igyo shidorak Okunen mida butsu hongan Jinen sokuji yuitsujo Yui no josho nyorai go Ohodai iguzeon Tenjin bosatsu zoron setsu 奇妙無下公如来、月衆たら見真実、光線の頂戴聖観、こういう本願力栄光、異道群上昇維新、記入苦毒大崩壊、筆逆入大越収集、特使連芸造世界、即称信用発祥人、有本の人間人図、入所自用自用芸、本師論断両天使、長高蘭書菩薩来、三蔵ルシ十条教、凡上宣教気楽法、天神菩薩論中芸、王道因果誓願、方言猫ゆたり、少女死因唯心人、惑前本部新人没、小知小知即涅槃、無量光明道、小宇宙上回復系、当社結晶道南書、よい明浄土活入、万全自力へ感染症、病院、一生増悪中世、思案用害、商業化、全道六病仏生意、公愛上三用逆悪、公明明法権人年、介入本願大智慧、行者少女今後心、教基一年相互、用意大と逆三人、即小小四上羅、献身公開一大教、天地安養観一切、先祖修心反戦人、法華二道小弁流、国中悪人唯小仏、火薬剤非摂取中、煩悩証言水風見、大無見上昇が、本資源空明仏教、天民全幕本部人、新宗教書後編集、戦弱本願偶惑性、現代生自輪蓮華、決知義上一生死、即入弱上無義楽、一心人に納入、仏教大自修士等、調裁無変極上苦悪、同族自主愚道心、有意化心死、高層説、ナ 奇妙 せよ。ナモアミダンブ。ナモアミダンブ。ナモアミダンブ。ナモアミダンブ。ナ幸運無限女国一切の下に触りなし光沢かもらぬものぞなき汝義を奇妙せよ。ナモアミダンブ。ナモアミダンブ。ナモアミダンブ。ナモアミダンブ。ナモアミダンブ。ナモアミダンブ。ナモアミダンブ。ナモアミダンブ。ナモアミダンブ。な少女光明並びなし不思このゆえなれば一切のごけものぞこりぬ異教へを奇妙せよ。ナモアミダンブ。ナモアミダンブ。ナモアミダンブ。ナモアミダンブ。ナ仏光世上最大一公園のと名付けたり三途の国湾イラクなり大王部奇妙せよ。堪にしく Okay, are we still here? Very nice to be able to chant the Shoshinge with everyone. A little bit long, more than we are accustomed to, but I think we get into this vocal meditation that our chanting is, and I really appreciate being able to chant the words of Shinran Shonin, and just to share some of the instruction. When we get to the final part that is more melodic, you'll see the first two, there are 6 sections, and then there's a solo line, and then everyone joins in. So the first 2 lines that I'm chanting alone, there are pound marks. It's and then everyone else joins in, okay? And sometimes here and there, the Butsu also has solo lines. So those times, the congregation doesn't chant, and you let the leader chant those solo lines. And on occasion, we might have other people on the Onaijin, the altar area. There might be a guest speaker or 3 or 4 attendants. And so those solo lines, we take turns chanting. So maybe first line, second line, third line, fourth line, and it'll go in kind of a rotation. And also there are opportunities, once we learn the solo lines, we can spread this out and you can lead the solo lines. So this is something for you to look forward to, okay? Just prepare yourself for, okay? So maybe next month, I'll be able to do that. Everyone's saying yes, 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 Sensei. Okay, so very nice. So again, I've explained before, when we have special services, particularly relating to the life of Shinran Shonin, his birthday is today, his Memorial Day. Homonko is another time we chant the Shoshinge. And because it's a little bit of a longer chant, it's more involved, takes more time, so not so often do we do that. But I think people who have gone to retreats and other occasions, I think they have an appreciation for being able to indulge in the chanting of the Shoshinge. So today is our annual Gotan-e Service, and Gotan-e commemorates the birth of our founder of Jodo Shinshu Buddhism. So through the life and the efforts of Shinran Shonin, Shin Buddhism became the most popular branch of Buddhism in all of Japan, and thereafter it came to spread throughout the world. And so we see Jodo Shinshu teachings and temples all throughout the United States, in Canada, Hawaii, Mexico, and Brazil, Europe, where else? Australia, so many places that it's been spread to, even, and back to Nepal, the birthplace of the Buddha. It had been missing from there for a while and was reintroduced to Nepal. So these are all movement of the teachings of Shin Buddhism, and we can be very happy to see that it is spreading to be able to touch not just the Japanese community, but to people all over the world. And here at the temple, most of our major services, help us to connect, to highlight our connections to the past, okay? And so during our special services, Gotan-e today, Ho Hanamatsuri, the birthday of the historical Buddha. Bodhi Day is when he became awakened. Nirvana Day is when the historical Buddha passed away. And these are our stories of origin. Okay, so all cultures, all religions have these stories of origin, and so these are ours. And through them, we kind of reaffirm our own identity as part of a group, as part of a teaching, as part of a tradition, and so we connect to something greater than ourselves. Okay, and we become part of a greater reality. This is important. See, this greater reality is something that includes millions of people and centuries of time. And through this, we connect to all of these people. And throughout all this history, this is very significant. And this is what makes these services that touch upon our history so important to all of us that come to be touched by the Nembutsu teachings, come to try to learn Jodo Shinshu Buddhism. So on this particular Gotan-e, we go through the life of Shinran Shonin. We remember that he was born on May 21st, 1173. And at birth, he was given the name Matsuwaka Maro. So this was his childhood name that we will hear often. So Matsuwaka Maro, it is said that because of that, at the age of 9, he was taken to Shonin-in Temple in Kyoto, Japan, and his uncle had urged him to stay there, to live and to study. It was such a tumultuous time in the greater society. He didn't have his parents any longer. There was war going on, the famine and the plague were going on, and all these things were, society in general was in upheaval. So for a young boy to live, it'd be very, very difficult. So he was introduced to the temple, that there he would be able to study, to take advantage, of the teachers there, to get his education, to be able to live. So these are all things that would enable him to continue on with his life. And so when he first was taken to Shonin-in, it was very dark in the middle of the night, and so the teachers were wondering. This is one of the stories of Shinran Shonin when he was first introduced to come to Shonin-in, and they were going to wait till later, till the next day, to officially bring him into the monastery. And so he supposedly composed this poem on the spot. There's a few translations, but this is one of them. Like the cherry blossom, the heart planning on tomorrow is ephemeral. What sudden storm may not arise in the middle of the night? So he's posing this image of a cherry tree full of blossoms, and this is how we are. This is how human life is. Who knows when a storm might come, winds blow, all the cherry blossoms are taken away from the cherry tree. And the same thing with our life. We don't know what happens, how things will turn, and just like that, everything changes. His parents died. So this poem is liking life itself to a cherry blossom in a storm. We don't know how long any moment is going to last. And so in this poem, you can see the loss of his parents, the ravages of war, the impermanence of life, all the causes and conditions changing, just like that. All of these things are reflected in this poem. So this touched the teachers at the monastery. So this young man is serious about becoming a monk. So they hurried to give him his kamisori, to bring him into the monkhood. And so he was introduced to life at Shonin-in Temple. So there he studied very hard for 20 years, And towards the end of his 20 years, he thought his life was going to end. Not only frustrated that he's not getting any further in seeking his awakening. You know, after so many years, he felt like I'm just as far now as when I started. My ego is still intact. I'm still touched by greed and anger. You know, I'm still attracted when I see a woman come onto the compound's ground. And so he can see that he's no better than when he first started. And he had a vision that his life is not going to last that long. So very much frustrated, and he didn't know what to do. So he's kind of like coming to this climax. You know, he thought he was a failure. And so he went to take this 100-day retreat to Rokukakudo Temple. And so there, 100 days, he would do this retreat at this special temple. On the 95th day, he had another vision. Lokiteshvara Raja Kannon Bosatsu, the Bodhisattva of compassion, came to him as Prince Shotoku. This is kind of one of his dreams, his visions that we hear about often. But in the dream, he was encouraged to find another teacher, Shinran Shonin. And so this was a teacher that was well known and well studied, but kind of looked upon as, you know, one of the traditional teachers. And so most people said, watch out for Shinran Shonin, you know, don't go to him. But he was encouraged to go to Shinran Shonin. And so this happened, that he was encouraged to go there by a vision on the 95th day. So he completed that retreat, and then he went to find Shinran Shonin and to learn under Shinran Shonin. So after he found Shinran, he went to him for another 100 days, day, rain or shine. He would go regularly to meet with Shinran Shonin and to learn about this Nembutsu teachings, recitation of Namo Amida Butsu. How does this work? How does this work? And all his questions, all his doubts were answered in his learning under Shinran. And so everything, he finally came to an awakening himself, and he came to trust the teachings of Shinran. Okay? So all of this, his vision, going to Rokukakudo and going to Shinran Shonin for the subsequent 100 days, these are topics that his wife Ishini wrote in her letters. And this is why the letters of Ishini become prominent, very important in our teachings. They validate some of these stories that we had heard about about Shinran Shonin. And so his wife had written to her daughter, and this is all recorded in the letters of Ishini. So then she becomes a key figure in our tradition as well. So after Shinran had become a disciple of Shinran Shonin, you know, many things that were customary of living the life of a monk, he moved away from. You know, monks weren't supposed to get married, right? They had, a number of monks had relationships, maybe they had a wife secretly, okay? But this was not what a monk was supposed to do. It was not part of the precepts. So Shinran openly, he is the first monk in Buddhism in Japan to openly get married. So he found a wife, Shonin, and told him, if you can follow the Nembutsu teachings better, living alone, celibate life, then do so. If you can follow the teachings, you know, better in a married life, then do that. So he decided to get married, you know, kind of testing Shonin's teachings, and at the same time living the life of a lay person, not of a monk. Okay? And another thing he did, he started to eat meat. All the other monks were living this monastic, vegetarian meals only, to refrain as much as possible from taking life. And again, another sign from Shinran to live the life of a lay person, to eat as ordinary people would do, to get married, to have a family, to eat these types of meals that were available to him. Okay, not this special diet. Okay, and so all of these things, he's kind of edging away from the life of a priest and towards the life of lay people. And so through this, he's showing everyone it's not just a special practice for special people. It's open to everyone. So it became, his Nembutsu teachings became a grassroots movement of Buddhism. Everyone was welcome. Everyone, no matter how they lived, no matter what kind of lifestyle they lived, farmers, fishermen, peasants, someone who lives selling meat at a butcher shop, he's welcome to join and to recite the Nembutsu. Fishermen killing fish, but they are welcome, okay? It doesn't matter what you do to come into the Nembutsu teachings and to learn how this opens up, kind of opened up the floodgates to the Buddhist teachings becoming open to all people throughout the world. So this is what is special about the Nembutsu teachings and what Shinran was able to provide. Okay. This is when we have this occasion to share this story, to retell this story. So these are elements of his life, key moments of his life that are the reasons why we have been in touch with the Nembutsu teachings. Because it became so popular in Japan, our grandparents carried it forward here, right? Because it's grew throughout the world, throughout the United States. We have temples throughout, and people are able to come, find us, drop in, find us on the internet, however it might be. Look us up, Alameda comes up very early in the ABC in our listing. So we get a lot of calls and a lot of visits. So all these are reasons that stem from Shinran Shonin and how he came to the Nembutsu teachings. Okay. So now this path is our own. Please join me in Gassho, and we'll conclude the Dharma message today. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, Namanda. Okay, very good. So thank you again for coming. Thank you for everyone who's joining us at home virtually. I know there were parts when we were chanting in particular. I don't know about speaking time. There were parts when the Wi-Fi would cut out. And probably you had this little signal, but this is your own practice. When you're chanting and you see this, there's no noise, keep the beat of the chant, okay? And you won't get lost, okay? So this is part of your practice, and so this is how we watch at home. Even though there are glitches and stalls, should not bother you. You should be able to keep the rhythm of your own chanting, vocal meditation by being mindful, okay? Before that, you need to have your book. Okay, I know you haven't memorized the Shoshin game. Okay, I thank everyone else. There are video people that I've worked to get these services to you. People have set up the flowers and the onaijin, the rice offerings, the fruit offerings, all these things to prepare for our service, and we appreciate them all. So at this time, we will light incense here. Please do so, prepare however you have prepared to do at home, and we will conclude this service and then come up for Oshoko. Okay, so please join me in Nembutsu one final time. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. Thank you for being here. Thank you.
Interesting, huh?